Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is the fifth lesson of Unit 8. Okay, tonight's homework will be completing the document, the PDF, which I attach to the Google assignment. Okay, so in the background again, I have the songs that you guys recommended in the daily question. Okay, so we have The Weeknd, Blinding Lights. Okay. Before we started, I know that in the last lesson, some people are asking me about how can I differentiate which is which. Okay, so let's look at the vocabularies. It says identify the chord and tangent. So far, let's look at my diagram right here. I have one line, two lines, and three lines. I have three lines, and two of them are what we're looking for. One is chord, and the other one is tangent. Now, tangent line only touches the circle one time and making a right angle. So the only line that's touching the circle once is this line right here. It's making a right angle, okay? 90 degrees. So that means this is tangent, okay? This line right here. Now, what about chord? Chord is the line that's inside the circle. So that means it doesn't go beyond. That means it's this line right here. The pink line. So this is chord. Okay? A little arrow right here. Now, what about this line? I mean, it's kind of similar to a chord. It starts on one side of the circle, but it doesn't stop. It continues to go. Okay? We call this line secant. Now, some people might say, Ms. A, is this the same secant that we learned in Algebra 2? The other one is related to trig ratio, which we will discuss, next year or later on in the curriculum, but we're not going to get into that. But in this case, tangent, chord, and secant are the three vocabularies for this lesson. Okay, so let's get into today's main idea. Today we are trying to see how do I find out the length of segments created by two tangents. Again, tangent only touches the circle one time, making the intersection or where it touches the circle a 90-degree angle. So this is where it touches, right? Now, this is going to make a 90-degree angle. I mean, it's kind of a little bit not obvious, but all you have to remember is touching the circle one time. So that means I have two tangent lines right here. One tangent line is AC, and the other one, again, I'm going to use a different color ink, okay, to differentiate. The other tangent we have is BC. Okay, so I got two, and it tells me that in order to find out the length of a tangent coming from the same vertex, then the tangent 1 is going to be equal to tangent 2. What that is saying, you see how these two tangent lines, tangent AC and tangent BC, are all coming from a outside vertex or an outside point, point C. It touches the same circle, maybe not at one point, but it touches the circle. One over here, 1 point over here. What this is telling me that then the line segment AC, line segment BC, in this case we call it tangent, right? So these two tangents have the same value, same measurement. So let's go ahead and look at one question, okay? So if you're looking at the PDF I send you, the questions are the same. It's just labeling a little bit different, okay? Like I said it in the previous video, because I printed out before school closes, I have revised some of the questions on the paper that you see, different PDF, okay? But everything else should be very straightforward, should be about the same. So let's look at it. It says in the diagram below, line segment AB, BC, and AC are tangents to the circle O. Okay, so that means vocabulary, that means each line segment only touches the circle one time. At point F, point E, at point D, respectively. AF is marked as 6, so AF. F is over here, E is over here, and D is over here. So AF is 6 units. CD, so CD is 5, and BE is 4. Now, I like to leave the little mark at the end of the line segment to tell me where does the 6 stop, okay? What is the perimeter of triangle ABC? Tough, right? Tough question. Now, we know that in order to find out the perimeter, I need to add up all the sides. I have parts of it for the segment. I'm still missing BF, EC, and AD. How do I find that out? We just learned something about tangent. It's so special, is that if it's coming from the same outside point, the vertex, then the two tangent lines are going to have the same measurement. So with that being said, let's look at vertex A. Vertex A, AB is a tangent line of circle O. AF is a tangent line. AD is also a tangent line that's coming from both the same vertex, which is A. So if AF is labeled as a 6, that means AD coming from the same vertex, AD should also be 6. Okay? Now, same idea. If it's coming from point B, BE is a tangent line. BF is another tangent line coming from point B. Then that means if BE is 4, that means BF should also be labeled as 4. Tangent CD coming from point outside vertex, point C, then that means that these two segments are going to have the same measurement, which is 5. So in order for me to find out the perimeter of triangle ABC, that means I need to add up all the sides, okay? So that means AD, so I'm going to write it on the side, okay? So AD is going to be 6, BF is going to be 4, and EC is going to be 5. So that means if I add up all the sides, it's going to be 6 plus the 4 plus the 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6. And that means my perimeter should be equal to 30. Okay? Now let's look at exercise 2 on your paper. It's labeled as exercise 3, but it's 2 on your paper. Okay? So it says the perimeter is equal to 48. So now we're tracking backwards. Before we're looking for the perimeter, now they're given to us. AB to BC to DE is in the ratio of 2 to 3 to 1. Finding the length of all sides of this triangle. Okay, so let's label what we have, okay? It says AB. So AB is this line segment right here, this part of tangent line is 2. So now we're talking about ratio, right? So I'm going to label this as 2x. BC, so this is another tangent line, is labeled as a 3, so I'm gonna mark it as 3x. And DE is this part right here. So DFB, 3 points. And I'm going to label this as x. Now, AB comes first, right? So that means corresponding number is the 2, so that's why I labeled it this way. BC comes second, and DE comes third, okay? So now, let's use what we know about tangent. If vertex A, tangent AB, and AF are going to have the same measurement because it's tangent lines coming from the same outside point touching the circle. So that means if AB is 2x, then that means AF is also 2x. Okay? These two lines are going to be equal to each other. What about EF? So ED is labeled as x. Tangent line coming from the same vertex touching the circle one time. So that means if ED is x, then that means EF should also be x. So that means these two lines are equal to each other. Okay? And last but not least, I have vertex C over here. So that means BC 3x. Then that means DC should also be 3x. If I want to find out what x is representing, because I need to find out all the sides, right? Before I find out all the sides, I need to find out what x is. So perimeter is 48. That means I have to add up all the sides. So that means I have the 2x plus x plus x plus 3x plus 3x plus 2x is equal to 48. So that means 48 is going to be equal to how many x? I got 2x plus 3x, 4x, 4x plus 3x, 7x, 10x plus 2x is 12x. Divided by 12, divided by 12. So that means x is going to be equal to 48 divided by 12. Oh, sorry. Let me shift my paper up. 48 divided by 12 is equal to 4. I found out 4. I did not get my final result yet because I found x. I'm looking for all the sides. So all the sides of triangle, I have 3 sides, right? I have side AC, side AE, and side EC. AC is equal to 2x plus the 3x, right? This entire side. So this is going to be 2x plus 3x is going to be equal to 5x. Substituting the x we found before, which is equal to 20 because 5 times 4. AE is going to be this side, entire length. So this is going to be 3x. 3 times 4 is equal to 12. EC is this side right here, so that's 4x altogether. So 4 times 4 is equal to 16. So if you want to, after you find out all the numbers, right, you want to add them up to see if it's going to give you perimeter 48. 20 plus 12 is equal to 32. 32 plus 16 is indeed 48. So that means check, our answer is correct. Now, for your homework tonight, finish the worksheet, okay? So I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, guys.